All right, welcome to the couch, Carolina Mendoza. This is
Thank you.
exciting.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so a lot of mountain music is about storytelling, and that's what your music is mountain music. What kind of stories tend to find their way into your songs?
Stories about perspective. The songs that we recorded are very heavily on perspective. It's influenced a lot by the songwriters that I just prefer to listen to: Kate Wolf, Joan Baez, Joni Mitchell, John Prine.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. It just I have songs that I write about. I wrote a song about a tree because I wanted to know, just out of curiosity, how many generations that tree saw be birthed. How many generations did that tree see as it, and like watched grow and even pass away. Yeah. And it was a tree that I used to see every single day that I would take my mom to dialysis, and then a windstorm knocked it over, which is when the perspective came from, like, how many lives did it see?
Right.
Yeah. And the others are prayers for love, stories of my brokenheartedness, stories of grieving of a loss that I never actually got to grieve, songs about my parents.
It's really deep. I like that. All right. Is there a place in the Ozarks that feels especially inspiring to your music?
The mountains, the mountains call. I mean, I currently live in a valley where I used to live at the top of a mountain, and the ecosystems are so different. I used to live at the top of the Boston Mountains, I think, over in Alco. And then I went to being, like, right in the valley in northwest Arkansas in Eureka Springs. So I've always been drawn to that valley ecosystem,
Really cool. It
almost.
just feels like home.
Yeah, it does.
All right. Well, what's the most unusual place you found inspiration for a song?
A festival. I co-wrote this song with another songwriter. His name's Shad Story, and it's a very, very dark subject. It's got about 3 very, very dark subjects in it, and I at first didn't want to sing it because I'd never experienced something like it. Like I said, I do it out of perspective. A lot of my songs have just different perspectives on it, and until I saw it for myself, I didn't. It was never fathomable to me. And then I did see it, and it was very dark, but it also brings about the debate of whether you should sing songs that are dark and that are, sad or that are taboo. But there's a lot of people that feel alone, and they don't feel any less alone by only being shown happy music, but a way to express themselves even in their dark times. I feel that somebody finds peace that somebody understands, and I've seen that come out of 2 or 3 people where I've shown them the song in private, and I've done it at some shows now, and it brings tears, and it says, that did something, that brought something out in perspective, and that's all I can ever hope for with my songs, if they make you think.
That's beautiful. I really like that.
Thanks.
All right. So when you're not playing music, what's something you love doing that has nothing to do with being on stage?
That doesn't have to. I like to go support local music, and I know that doesn't really have anything to do with me. I go as a listener. I go to support my local music joints. The way the community is where I'm currently from is there's a lot of live music and a lot of very small acts that, it matters that you show up to small events. It matters just as much as the big events matter. And sometimes if you're the only person that's willing to talk to an artist, it's a lifesaver. You know, that you're willing to like banter and feed some kind of energy instead of them playing to an empty room, you know?
Right. So I've got one last question for you. If the mountains themselves could talk back to you after one of your songs, what do you think that they would say?
Could you repeat that?
If mountains themselves could talk back after hearing one of your songs, what do you think they would say about it?
I think they would answer I think they would answer the question of a giant has fallen, you know. How many generations, or they would look and ponder and about the perspective of the song, you know. How in one of my songs, it's called Phoenix. How many phoenixes did they see get reborn? How many people healed in those mountains? You know, they know all of that. The mountains are always, I mean, they've always been there for as long as we've lived, for as long as the past 3 generations before us, past 10, you know, and they've seen every birth, every death, every life that lives in it. They get to experience that with every single footstep. So I feel like they would answer some questions if they knew, or maybe they don't, because our lifespan is minute in comparison to theirs.
I love it. All right, so we'll let you take it from here, but thank you.
Thank you.